and welcome to Golden Wings Angel Card Readings. We are doing readings currently on love and romance for Virgos in a committed relationship, and that's for 2017 for the months of August and September. And so I'd like to note that I do all of my praying and asking my spirit guides to come in and help provide the best answers for you off camera, as well as my shuffling, so that what I am filming is getting straight to the interpretations for you. And so again, this is Virgo in a committed relationship, August and September 2017. This is your love and romance reading. I'm pulling cards from the Archangel Power Tarot by Doreen Virtue and Radleigh Valentine, the Angel Tarot by Doreen Virtue and Radleigh Valentine. I've pulled a solitary card from the Romance Angels, and then I have 3 cards that I pull from Angel Answers, Magical Mermaids and Dolphins, and messages, magical messages from the fairies, and I'll get into how that works a little bit later. So, on the first row, on the left-hand side, here, this is probably better, we have 0, Leap of Faith. Leap of Faith, the very beginning of the major arcana, the very first card. And then in the middle, we have Decision. And then on the right-hand side, 9 of Ariel. On the bottom row, we have the Moon, more major arcana energy. Even more, the Star, and the 7 of Water. At the bottom of the 2 decks, for underlying energy of the reading, we have the Ace of Gabriel. And on the other deck, we have the 9 of Earth. So, let's dive straight in here for Virgos, already in a committed or coupled relationship. So, first off, right off the bat, we have Leap of Faith. This is the very first card in the major arcana, and it's basically a new beginning. So, as many of you know, when we have long-term relationships, you make many different plateaus in those relationships. And there's very many times that we're completing things with a partner, and then we grow either together, apart, come back together, and each time we come back to a new beginning. So this would be the start of a new beginning phase for you, Virgo. Beneath this card is the Moon. And this is a very interesting card because, of course, this card says that there may be things that are hidden from view or things that you're not aware of or don't know about, okay? But a lot of times this card is really about urging you to go inside and listen to your intuition. It's kind of like the High Priestess card in the sense that it's one of those cards where there's information that you don't have, and in order to get that information, you need to go within yourself. It's also a card that kind of shows a lack of confidence. It says release fears that hold you back. So a lot of times what happens is, if you think about the moon casts a shadow. And it casts a shadow over what's real. And so a lot of times when you get the Moon card, not only is there something that you're not aware of, but whatever it is that you're not aware of is causing you a great deal of fear and anxiety, and you can't sort through it unless you go inside and kind of intuitively figure out what that means for you. Okay? In the next row, we have the Decision card, which this card is usually an attachment card. It means that you're attached to something or someone for reasons that are important to you but may not be in your best interests, okay? So a lot of times this card says, again, unnecessary worry based on lack of self-confidence, right? And so we have these 2 cards. Move this in here so we can see. These 2 cards are both worry cards. They're both about a lack of self-confidence. And so obviously this card here is probably coming from the moon and that moon energy that you're going to have when we first go into these couple of months. And it's going to be where it's like an attachment that you know that you need to deal with. It doesn't mean, it's usually an unhealthy attachment, but at the same time you can turn it into something healthy as long as you recognize it and look at the reasons why you're bound to this situation. And a card that's really going to help you with that, and a very positive energy major arcana card, is the Star. Okay, and this is happy times. Okay, it's happy times. Make positive, optimistic, long-term plans. Okay, and so whatever's going on here, you have two cards that are very positive and optimistic. Oops, let's go the right direction. Which is a very beginning card. This is a starting over card, if you will, right? And the Star, which is a very hopeful card. And then you have two cards where it shows you need to do some work, right? There's some work that needs to be done. You need to go inside and figure out what it is that's casting a shadow on your relationship, what it is that's causing you a little bit of discomfort, and then you need to find out why you feel kind of a negative attachment to this relationship that causes you so much worry and anxiety, when most relationships should be positive that way. It shouldn't be that you're chained to the person because of a need. You should be there because you want to be there, okay? Now, the Nine of Ariel, which is funny, is the exact same card as the card that's at the deck for the basis of the reading on one of our decks. These are the same two cards, they're just in two different decks. They both talk about enjoying being on your own. This is the kind of enjoyment on your own where you're not trying to cut another partner out. You're just really happy, and it's what nourishes you and kind of replenishes you to find time on your own. Okay, things are good in this instance. It's not where things are bad and you're trying to run away from your partner. It's where things are really good with your partner and you just want some time for self-nourishing and renewal. Okay, the Seven of Water here is a cup where you have some decisions to make, and obviously you have some decisions to make, right? You have a major arcana telling you that, and you have a minor arcana telling you that. And it's a card where it's time to decide and make a decision about what you want. And it's time to get very clear about what you want in a relationship, because when you're in a relationship with a partner, most of us are afraid to ask for what we want because we're afraid we won't get it, okay? Or we're afraid that we're not good enough to even ask for it, all right? These cards are cards saying that in this steady relationship that we have, that if you're a Virgo, over the months of August and September, you're going to be contemplating what it is that you really want out of a relationship. And that's healthy. That's healthy to do. Ace of Gabriel is powerful energy coming to you. It's very positive energy. The text on the card says a gift of passion, opportunity, and inspiration. So you've got some very positive energy with which to work through some of these questions. From the Romance Angels, it says healing family issues. So for whatever is going on in your long-term relationship right now, a key is looking back at your mom and dad and possibly how they interacted with each other or how you viewed their relationship. And a key towards moving forward in your own relationship is to deal with some of these issues and things that you saw going on in their relationship. Maybe you're with your current partner because of something that you felt in your own dynamic, in your own family relationship, okay? And so maybe you're with a partner that is stable and steady and strong because you felt that your parents were unsteady and not strong, and then you get this partner and you need to work through why you feel so, fearful and so much anxiety if this doesn't work out, or if you're working through things, even if it does work out, and you're just feeling fearful all the time, like you're going to lose something that you need, okay? So this would be a clue to look at your family history and go back and see where it is for you in your own dynamic and how this works on your relationship. Now, your 3 action energy cards that I've done is cards where I've asked your angels, mermaids, and dolphins, and your fairies for if you run into any trouble, Virgo, in your relationships in August and September, I've asked them what advice they would give you as to how to overcome those problems and how to work through those challenge energy or low vibe energies so that you can transform it. The first card from your angels is compromise. And you know, it's always a hard card in the sense that you forget sometimes. I mean, this isn't a hard card. It's always when you're dealing with a hard energy or you're dealing with a low vibe energy or a challenging energy, it's easy to just sit around and start thinking about what you need or don't need, right? What you're worried is going to happen or not going to happen. What you don't know is going to happen or not going to happen. And then you sit there and you have all these possibilities and you're chewing over them and you forget you're in a relationship with another person. So no matter what's going on, if you find any tough times that you come up against in the next couple of months, August and September, and you're a Virgo in a long-term relationship, don't forget to compromise. You know, yes, it's important to sit down and think what you need from the relationship and what's important for you, but it's also important for you to ask your partner what's important for them because you're in it together. The moment you tied yourself together, you know, there's another person, another entity that you're dealing with. So yes, get clear on what it is you want and need out of a relationship, but don't forget to compromise. The next card that came from the Magical Mermaids and Dolphins is friendship. And this card is basically saying that don't forget, for you, going out with your friends or going out and doing something that involves play, for you is a very healing thing to do. So if you're feeling pent up or you're feeling confused or you're not sure what's going on, getting out and playing or going out with a friend and just getting out of the relationship and out of the situation and just getting away for a little while will actually rejuvenate the relationship because this is what rejuvenates you. Okay? And then the last thing is admit your true feelings to yourself. And this comes from the fairies. And of course, this is another thing in longer term relationships it's hard to do sometimes because, you know, you're always so worried that if you admit what you want, that the other person may not give it to you. Or if you really admit your true feelings, that somehow that's going to be shameful or maybe somebody will laugh at you or something, you know. It's always those inner fears that we have that keep us from fully recognizing and going after what we want in a relationship. You may be surprised, you know. You may come to your significant other and say, hey, this is something that after looking at it, I really want and need in our relationship. What do you think? And as opposed to somebody looking at you and being like, oh, like, what are you talking about? They might be like, I think that's a great idea, right? And that's what you have to not be afraid of. You have to honestly admit where you're coming from before you can get the other person in your relationship on board with that, right? If you're not clear, then how do you communicate to another person what your needs and desires are? Okay. So on a recap, Virgo, it looks like you in your relationship have some fears and anxieties that have been going on, and that you've reached a place where you've got a new beginning in your relationship, and it's time to deal with some of these fears and insecurities that are working behind the scenes that are not positive for your relationship. The good news is you definitely have more than a couple of really good, strong energy cards to work with, and you have some minor arcana saying it's time to really deal with these situations, figure out what you want. Okay? The way to do that is enjoying time by yourself. This is not really time away from your significant other, like running away or needing to get away because you're unhappy. This is just time on your own, right, to be able to admit what you need out of this relationship so that you can make a wise decision. Also, this says getting out with your friends and also getting out and doing something that's playful for you. And then don't forget that compromise is at the heart of every really strong relationship, okay? Because there's two of you in the relationship. So you also have some really positive energy coming towards you to get this work done. And don't forget to look at your family issues while you're about this and see how they may be contributing to your current relationship in ways that you didn't want them to. And the way to release that is to forgive them, not to accept what they did. When you forgive something, don't forget that doesn't mean you condone it. It means that you accept it and you choose to not take any more part in it. Okay? So the good news is it looks like there's a lot of healing that can be done over these next couple of weeks. There is a little bit of heavy energy to your relationship, your love and romance reading for these next couple of months. It's a little heavier, but at the heart of the reading, you have a new beginning and the star. So even though there's heavier energy, there's no real catastrophic energy. It's just, it's a little heavy, right? And that's why your guides are saying, in order to combat that, lighten it up, right? Lighten it up. Get out in nature. Refresh yourself. Replenish yourself. Replenish, is that a word? I don't think so. Nourish yourself so that you can make a decent decision, okay? Don't forget, with these action energy cards, the reason I've started doing these with these readings is to give you specific things you can do if things are not working out well in your relationship, or you're having a low energy day, or you're having some conflict emotions that come up. These are the things that, you know, your angel guides want you to remember to use specifically to overcome those negative, low vibe energies and work through them. And these are the things that would give you the key to transforming those energies into something. Now, since you are in a coupled relationship, it'd be great for you to go to your couple's YouTube video, whatever sign your couple is, and look at their 3 cards that they have, so that you'll have 6 cards in total that you'll be able to choose from for your relationship, to be able to help your relationship continue to grow and get better in the months of August and September. And then also keep a special note out for any cards that show up that are the same. Because if you get in your reading and they get in their reading the same action energy card, then you really know that that's a card that's very key to your relationship for those 2 months. Okay, Virgo. You have a couple of heavy energy cards, but you also have some very positive, uplifting energy for your relationship. You just need to find it. You need to clarify what you want and then go after it, okay? And I'll be very excited to see what October, November, and December holds. I'll be back then to go ahead and do the reading to close out the end of the year for you. And I hope you found this helpful. And love and light always, and have a great night. Thank you so much.